Sign 508, traffic and weather together on the 8th. We had a rash of problems.
The key didn't work, huh?
Sorry about the
You can adjust that thing too.
I'm fine.
Down.
I like riding in a truck.
I figured this would be more comfortable than her car.
Oh yeah. And you set higher, you can see better.
Yeah. I got the little camera running here. I don't know how this is going to work. I've never done this before. But,
okay, so we're live.
Yeah. So we've had some lunch. We've had a few hours to sit and talk on the porch, and still we're going to go and we're going to try to show Howard a little bit of what goes on, or the city here. Not so much Roseville, but more Detroit, and getting down to Detroit.
The general area.
Right, from where we're at. So we're just leaving this hotel, and we're going to hit the mile road here and head east until we hit the lake.
So
and then we'll take shoreline drive down to downtown.
I remember passing 13 Mile Road, 12 Mile Road.
Right.
Next is Martin. Take a right on Martin.
Correct. That was 13 back behind us.
Okay.
This should be 12 mile. No.
Down here a ways a little.
I think this is This is the half mile road, which they don't call them half mile roads. It should be either Masonic or believe it or not, Masonic. Isn't that weird? Or Common Road is another half mile road, and Martin is a half mile road.
Okay.
Let's see where. That's the highway. We don't want the highway.
This sounds like a V8.
This is 13.
Oh, this is the 13.
This is 13 mile road right here.
Okay.
So we just went under I-94 where you
Okay, I went down that way and looped around 696 and got off exit 27 and came right on up. I had one of these turnabouts, or turnarounds they call them.
Yeah.
And sit there and wait for a light to change up the road.
Now, was that M3, Highway 3, what you call Highway 3? That had to turn around on it?
Maple Street.
That's a street in the subdivision.
Oh.
So that's not a main road like this here is.
Got off exit 27.
Correct.
Came to a light, turned right, and went up that way and had to do a turnaround. It said turn around and then take an immediate right.
Okay, so that was the boulevard. That was M3 or Highway 3. It's Gratiot Boulevard.
That was 3, okay.
Yes. That was where you take. That's called a Michigan turnaround.
You're correct.
Or a Michigan U-turn.
Would you say Gratiot?
Gratiot Avenue or Gratiot Boulevard.
Yes.
It's a boulevard because it's got grass in the middle.
Right.
It's got the 3 lanes, then grass with 3 lanes, and it's got the Michigan U-turns. Beats the heck out of how they do it in Florida. They do it like this with these left turn lanes, except the lights are all different.
Yeah.
Usually in Michigan, the traffic goes first, then the turning traffic. Like you see here, the light just turned red. Our blinking light, yellow light just turned green. So now we get to go. Florida is the opposite. The turning lane goes first. We crashed. We're all right. The turning lane goes first, and then the traffic will go after the turning has stopped.
Right.
So, have you noticed here in Michigan we have what's known as potholes or patches in the asphalt, which you don't see that kind of stuff
from the freezing winters.
Yes, the water like
we had plenty of potholes in the mountains of Southwest Virginia growing up. North Carolina, not too many.
Okay. What happens is we use salt up here on the roads, right? And the salt melts the ice and the snow.
Right.
And then usually in the day with the sun out, even if it's below zero, you'll get a little water from the melting snow and ice. And what'll happen is that water seeps into every crack it can find in the pavement.
It freezes and expands.
And right at night it freezes and pow, you get the dreaded chuck hole.
Yeah.
And one of the things I noticed when I lived in Savannah those two summers was the roads down there for a racing guy. The roads down there were a dream come true. An absolute dream come true, because there was no patching, there were no chuck holes, there were no asphalt repairs or anything like that. The roads were just beautiful, and you could literally race on them.
Yeah, they're pretty good down there. Good for motorcycle riding.
Yes.
But up here in the northern states, where you do have broken pavements, you really have to pay attention. From the segment. And I wore a jacket. I've been wearing a jacket every morning since I got to Maine.
Well, it's supposed to be what's in the 60s, I think, overnight here, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Tomorrow's going to be another beautiful day.
Every day I'm leaving out around 59, 60, 61 degrees, and I had to leave home in a rain suit. I got rained on Monday, not Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Going to New Hampshire and Quebec.
Look at that. Triumphant Cross Evangelical Lutheran Church. Is that an oxymoron? Evangelical
I don't know.
Lutherans? I mean, sorry, Sherry, if you watch this. Her and mother were originally Lutherans. And I've been to Lutheran church with them once, long before I got saved. And it was, to me, it was very much like Catholic church, which I absolutely couldn't stand. So
yeah,
that's why I think that's part of my rebellion as a kid, was rebelling against that theatrical performance every Sunday at the Catholic church.
It's just a ritual. It's not a worship.
Certainly not, and
it's cultic-like.
And you know, I respect everybody's own belief or whatever they're comfortable with, right? Some people, like Mother, she prefers contemporary Christian music.
Okay.
She's not crazy about the music they sing at temple, and I told her...
Cherry's mom.
Right.
Cherry's mother.
Right.
What's her name? She told
Diane.
Me? Okay.
Diane.
I would be more comfortable saying Diane than...
Okay, well, yeah, well, me, it's hard for me because I'm her son-in-law. Yeah, we call her Mother. She likes contemporary music, you know, stuff that's more, I guess, upbeat or whatever. And me, I listen to some contemporary music, like if I'm driving down the road. I've got CDs of contemporary Christian music. I don't listen to Van Halen or AC/DC or none of that anymore.
No,
you know?
I don't either.
Don't do any of that. Don't listen to any regular country music or any other genre of music. I listen to Christian music, and I like some of the contemporary stuff, but it's not worship music.
No,
it's not music. Right.
But you know what? I listen to. I used to listen to K-Love.
Yeah.
They have a lot of contemporary. They're getting the word of God out there, but that music, eventually, you know what? Every song sounded about the same, where they would go, wow, wow. They're just wailing.
Yeah.
And I love you, Jesus. And it just is so monotonous.
Yeah.
And after a while, a song would come on and different artists, but I'd say the same old thing. They have to. Contemporary Christian music has gotten to where they all have the same.
I agree. Some of it is
better than
is a
others.
reach. You know,
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And some of it I think is very good. One of the lyrics, I wake up in my sleep, rolling over in the middle of the night, I wouldn't say singing, but thinking these words, all to Jesus I surrender, all to you I freely give. That's a verse in a contemporary Christian song.
Something that has lyrics and doesn't just wail.
Right.
The ones where there's, you know what I mean by wailing, right?
Right, yeah.
And
the dragging on of notes and
8
what have you.
minutes of
But you know, like I said, it's good to occupy driving down the road.
Singing praises to the Lord is the main thing.
Right. But it certainly isn't Sunday morning going to church worship music. And you know, I told you that first place we went to, that first church we went to, that seeker-friendly place, did a lot of, well, all of it was contemporary Christian music. They played it live.
Yeah.
they had the drummer inside the glass, right, in case so he doesn't beat the drums too loud and what have you. And I always thought that was a little weird. Why can't you just not play them as hard? But it's part of what's going on today. I would never discredit somebody's belief because that's the type of music they prefer, or that's the kind of music they worship God to, because their relationship
even says that
their relationship is personal between them and Christ. And if Jesus didn't like it, I'm sure he'd let them know. That he'd give them a feeling deep down inside them. If they're seeking the truth.
I think Jesus knows all people's hearts, and he knows if they love him or not, and if they're genuine in their feeling towards him or not, or whether they're faking it, regardless of what style of music it is.
Right.
And I just let it kind of go at that, basically. Oh, we're in St. Clair Shores?
St. Clair Shores, yes.
Okay.
And we're going to go through Grosse Point, Grosse Point Farms, Grosse Point Shores, and if Grosse Point sounds hoity-toity, it is. It's a high-class, high-dollar area. Very old homes, a lot of old money, family money.
Okay.
But it's right down there on Shoreline, which is what we're on, Jefferson Avenue or Shoreline, and it'll take us right along the lake to downtown.
I'm not in the coastal Carolina area. In North Carolina, we have mountains, hills, rolling hills, and that's where I'm in rolling hills, and then it's the coastal where it gets really flat on down to the beach, and there's just a definite demarcation traveling east-west on I-40 from Wilmington, North Carolina to Asheville in the mountains at the other end of the state. And
you know what I learned when I was down in Savannah?
Like here in Michigan, everything is so flat. So yes, you have snow and ice, but you're not sliding off a mountain like I did.
No, we're not.
Growing up,
we're not.
Snow and ice. I mean, we'd slide off the road.
I had some friends that I raced with. They live in Columbia, South Carolina. They own an auto repair business right in the middle of downtown. It's a family thing. Their father owned it. They worked for their dad.
Columbia, you say?
Columbia.
The capital.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yep. And they're big Gamecocks fans, obviously.
Yeah.
Chris and Jimmy, if you guys are tuning in, how you doing? Miss you guys. I haven't seen you guys. Hope everybody's well. I know Jimmy was sick there for a little while, and Chris was still popping out more kids. So God bless you. But what Chris told me.
What does that say? Ontario?
That's Michigan.
Oh, that's
a Michigan plate. Yeah, he says when I was in Savannah, he called Savannah and parts of South Carolina the low country. I said, so if there's a low country, there's a high country. He said, well, yeah.
Up towards Clemson.
Okay. So that's what is
Greenville, Clemson, up.
Now, is that rolling up into some hills? Yeah. Obviously, there's no mountains there. Is there? So.
Well, that tip of South Carolina, there's the ocean, and then it's like this, and at the tip there, that's in the mountains of North Carolina.
Okay. Well, I'm familiar with Anderson. South Carolina is near Clemson over there.
Okay, yeah.
Big sponsor of ours
rolling
that we had.
There?
Yeah, rolling. I certainly wouldn't call it mountains, and I wouldn't consider that high country. So it's strange the difference in lingo, so to speak, from region to region.
Or what word describes what kind of terrain?
Yeah. High country and low country. I'm like, wow. Well. We live in the flat country in Michigan. It's pretty flat here.
Once I leave Mackinac City, and what do you call them? The uppers?
Upper Peninsula, Upers. Upers, yeah. Upers.
I was the guy checking me in, an older man. He said, "What are you here for?" And I said, "I'm visiting friends down in Roseville." He said, "You mean in Roseville? We're in Roseville."
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's south of here, right? In North Carolina, if it's south of where you are, we say down, and if it's north,
here,
that's up.
There. Yeah,
Up
here,
the road
down
or down the road.
Right, right.
You know,
Well, what do you say when you go east and west?
across. I said, let's go over. From where I live, we go over to Raleigh. Or up to Chapel Hill or down to Pittsburgh.
You know, I spent some time in High Point. I actually spent a year in High Point working at a NASCAR place.
About an hour, 20 minutes from me.
Okay. Greensboro, Triad.
My parents lived in Greensboro.
Right. What exactly is the Triad again? I forget. There's three cities.
Greensboro, Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem.
And High Point.
There you go.
And the triangle where I live is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill.
Okay.
And I'm off the point of Chapel Hill going south. But yeah, I mean, Greensboro's a beautiful city. I liked it. My parents lived in a nice place. Although Mom was in the shower one day and Dad was out mowing grass, and a gypsy couple had been working the neighborhood, and Dad was in the front yard and had the sliding glass doors going into the back of the house. They went in there, got all the silverware, went back to the bedroom. Mom was in the shower, got her jewelry, got Dad's class ring from West Virginia University, and man, they were out, and Mom and Dad didn't see it. And they were in a supposed nice, safe neighborhood.
Did you notice the change? We just went from all the concrete, all the concrete called that last bit was called the nautical mile. I don't know if you noticed there was an awful. Well, you can pay attention on the way back. It'll all be on your side.
Oh, we're in Grosse Point now.
Yeah, Grosse Point Shores, village of Grosse Point Shores. All that concrete back there, like I said, was called the nautical mile, and it was just marina after marina after marina with a bunch of places to eat.
To my right, because I was looking at you as I was talking.
Correct. The marinas would have been on my side because the lake's on the lake's on my side. We're going to see the lake here just right up around this next bend.
Wow, look at the manicured median there.
Yeah.
I mean, they fertilized that grass.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they had fireworks down here for the 4th of July. I'll point it out to you when we get further down. But
you did say we're in the old money place. Look at these big houses.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, well, it's gonna get heavier.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do these guys do to make all that money?
There are some Firestone family, tire company family living here. Yeah, a lot of Ford family. Live over here. Yeah, not all of them live out in Bloomfield or in Farmington or whatever.
Is that the other hoity-toity?
Yeah, that's. See, we're east of Gratiot Boulevard or Avenue, and the other big avenue or boulevard is west of here. It's called Woodward. Now, if you're a car nut or a cruiser, Woodward. In Gratiot, Gratiot is where you go to race, and Woodward is where you went to cruise.
People have a lake in their backyard.
Yeah, look at this tennis courts and stuff here. Look at that tennis courts. Probably
this is like Hollywood in California, where all the rich people live. Who knows? My goodness. Gates, fences.
Yeah. This is the north end of the lake, and we're going to go all the way along the side of the lake here.
Okay.
When we get downtown, Belle Isle is at the mouth of the Detroit River that feeds into Lake Erie. So it goes Lake Huron, St. Clair River, Lake St. Clair, which is where we're at now, then into the Detroit River, down south of Detroit to Lake Erie. So it's Lake, River, Lake, River, Lake.
Wow.
I find it pretty interesting that it's all fresh water. There's got to be a spring somewhere because everything flows down yonder, you know.
Man.
From one lake into another. So this is us.
Well, let's see now.
I can get it on the movie.
That direction, you can't see the other side, can you?
That's Canada over there.
Oh, that's Canada.
That'd be Canada.
Wow. Oh, man. This is a lake and not the river.
This is Lake St. Clair. Yes, sir.
Lake St. Clair.
Lake St. Clair.
Wow. That's Canada.
Mm-hmm.
What about private boats going back and forth? Do they patrol and what?
That's a good question. I'm sure there's some kind of somebody's watching you. You know, Big Brother.
Yeah.
They're not.
Could they have geo-synced orbit satellites that zoom in?
That's a good question. I mean, when you look at the like a MapQuest map or something, there's a boundary out there where you're in American water and Canadian water. So yeah, there is a boundary, and it runs through the lake, through the river as well. Belle Isle is on our side, on the American side
if you come from
of the
one
river.
across into the other, someone's going to be.
I think if you put your feet on the ground, there could be some trouble. And if you're over there and you're driving your boat and you're drunk and you get stopped by Canadian authorities, you could very well go to Canadian jail.
Really?
If that were the case, yeah. Yep. But here's, this is, I don't know if you got a big old Catholic church or something down here too. Yeah, when I get...
What do people do with all these rooms?
I really don't know, Howard. I imagine they probably got their spoiled, rotten kids are probably in their 20s, 30s, and 40s still living with them.
Still living with mom and dad?
I imagine...
with their girlfriend or boyfriend?
Probably, yeah, probably. I ride my bike down here every now and again. It's cooler here by the lake. I don't know if you can feel the air is much cooler here. The breeze off the water is definitely cooler.
And then you have the shaded road, a lot of shade.
So especially on the bike, you leave the house, and a lot of times I'll ride. I know I'm not supposed to, but I'll ride with shorts on and a t-shirt, and you get over here and it's cold. The breeze is actually cold in the evening, so you got to get dressed for it. I was down this way, like I said, 4th of July, and right down here there's a big marina, and you got down this way to a certain point, and there was just people everywhere on all the grass.
These people just anchor up and swim and drink and party, right?
Yep, sure.
There's a boat of partiers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah.
Are those kids?
But yeah, they're young folks.
Rich people.
Yeah.
Those are expensive boats, man.
It's pricey. Insurance is, gas is expensive at a marina. You know, look, here's some folks on some personal watercraft here. That's the way to go to. Look at that. Look at that. They got a little cocktail table set up there. The water's only waist deep. But just the other side of the Morass. This is Morass Road. This would be 6 Mile, I think. Yeah, 6 Mile.
Okay.
6 or 7 Mile.
Here is very well off. And, I mean, they have to have landscapers.
Yeah,
to maintain
look at this
their
truck. They got a fountain on their front lawn, Howard.
These people cannot get out there and maintain their own yards. And trees.
They got a fountain on their front lawn. And there's folks on the other side of the world from here that have never seen clear, clean water before. You know what I'm saying?
They live in cardboard, you know.
Here's another little cove.
In Mexico, when it's safe to go down there, I've seen Cardboard City. People live in cardboard
boxes. Yeah, glued together, whatever they can find.
They are dirty.
Yeah.
And they wear rags. Sad.
And this must be the old folks' cove here. There isn't anybody parked over here. Maybe they're doing some fishing.
Or they're laying up there relaxed, not standing up, spending energy.
Yeah, they're just laying out there.
Gray-haired people in the interview.
Yeah, laying out there on those floating things, getting a sunburn.
But they got a rope to the boat so they can pull themselves in.
Yeah.
And the wave action.
Well, everything does move, and you'll see freighters out here too. They come through here. Oh yeah, they'll come right down the St. Clair River, through the Lake St. Clair, down to Detroit River. There's
Is there a connection with one of the Great Lakes from this lake?
Yeah, straight north of here. Straight.
Are we headed north?
We're heading south.
Okay, so back this way
would be Lake Huron, the bridge that you cross.
Okay, so this lake becomes a river of sorts.
Detroit River downtown.
Oh,
yeah. See, what we have is you have Huron here, right, inside of Lake Huron, inside my fingers there, and then where you crossed was in my thumb, right, or here, somewhere up in here,
right.
Above is Lake Huron, below was a river. That's the St. Clair River.
And the bridge crosses that river.
Correct.
Okay.
The St. Clair River spills into this Lake St. Clair. Yeah. St. Paul's Catholic Church. It's a big place.
You know what? In their heart, they love Jesus and have experienced rebirth. God bless them.
Amen.
But Pastor Lawson talks about them they doing it the wrong way, kind of, doesn't he?
Well, they do the rosary thing. They pray to Mary. They do they have what's called Day of the Dead or something, right, where they pray for the people who have already died. Which I think we know that to be a no-no. The folks that are gone, there's no salvation. I mean, if they hadn't find salvation before they died, there's no repentance after you're dead. So
living in your physical body, your spirit has to be reborn in your physical body,
right,
to make it into heaven.
Because that's therein is what we answer for at our judgment, and all the things that we've done in our flesh, in our body.
There's another church.
Is it a church?
Right to the left, back over there. I thought it was. I saw
we need something in there.
Services.
And here we're entering we're leaving the shores and entering Grosse Point, the city of Grosse Point. I'm not sure we're going to see much of the lake shore until we get downtown, which we're not far from downtown right now. There are, believe it or not, there are folks that call themselves Christians, that even folks that believe they have a good heart and they don't need to be a Christian. They don't need to go to church or read a Bible or worship Jesus, because their heart, who they are in their heart, God knows, and that's good enough. They're going to go to heaven. My sister, God bless her, is one of those people. I can't seem to get through to her, so it's up to someone else or up to Christ Himself. Maybe the Father will move her toward Jesus. I don't rightly know.
That's a home.
Yeah.
Big enough to be a business.
Yeah.
It's freaking me out, man.
It's freaking me out, man.
Did you ever see any old Cheech and Chong movies?
Yeah.
Where they'd smoke pot and talk like, freaking me out, man.
Yeah. Where they built the van, the body of the van was made of weed.
That's funny.
And the exhaust started burning the side where they got all stuff. Yeah.
Some ideas, even some of the smaller homes that are not up to $1 million, you wonder how much they would cost. Not that's good.
That looked like a housing unit there, didn't it?
But is that was a home but not a duplex, I guess. Still have $1 million, I bet.
Well, there's the hospital.
I know the property. I have no idea the price.
It's pricey down here. Now we're at Grosse Point Park. So you're going from the shores to the city to the park. Look at that old brick home there.
Wow.
Look at that. That is something.
Yeah. That driveway on that huge house needed paved, so they're beginning to run out of money. So they were paving. Boy.
Oh, there was something there, some historical sign about the home there. The Higby Mason.
They're old enough to be like historical.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I see an American flag on top of Canadians. That means man or woman is Canadian, or?
It's a good question. I don't know.
And even in Ontario, I noticed.
I should have washed the windows on this thing. They're terrible.
I'm okay.
I don't drive it much. It doesn't get used all that much. Look, it's the one spot where the double yellow line has a break in it. Folks are turning, and we had to get stopped. But
man.
no, what I was saying was I had to show this to my sister. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10 says, even the saints are going to be judged for what we've done in our flesh. And she says, oh, no, there will be none of that. You know, the good ones don't. I said, oh, my sister.
Oh.
No, the only the bad people are going to get. I said, no, only the bad people are going to the great white throne judgment or whatever. But we all have to answer. You know, we're all. If you have to bow your knee, you're going to have to answer. I've never met anyone that's gone to court and not had to answer a question from the judge. And that's what it's going to be like. We're going to, hopefully, if we're right, if our hearts are right, and we've lived the right way, and we've done the right thing, we'll have an advocate. We'll have a defense attorney. His name is Jesus.
If we claim Jesus as our Lord and Savior.
Amen.
And I've heard people say, well, you know, Muslims worship.
All roads lead to the same God. Yeah.
But Jesus is only a man, a prophet for them. And if you're a Christian, the Bible, the Word of God is very clear. You must be reborn in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, and claim Him by word of mouth as your Lord and Savior to gain entrance into the kingdom of God. And Muslims don't do that,
no.
So they cannot possibly go to heaven. But their belief in God, and there can only be one God. And that, I believe in the Trinity. The Father, Creator, the Son, Savior, and then the Holy Spirit, and the Word of God. So I don't know. And people say, well, they're good people, they got to be able to get to heaven. I'll say, you know, I just really don't think so, but I don't know. And I'm not the judge. It's not for me to say.
That
I
is,
do know the Christian Bible.
Yeah, that is a wonderful piece of truth that we, thank goodness, we don't have to judge anybody. And it sounds terrible thinking, oh, well, you're going to get judged. Well, you know what? We can do that. We can be judged because we're all going to be judged. And I'm all for that. I'm all for the fact that it's a closed down building.
An old hotel?
That's what it looks like, an old hotel, yeah. But the fact that there's a lot of responsibility and pressure to having to be a judge. You know, look what Moses' father-in-law told him, you know, hey, wait a minute, you need to pick out some good people and have them sit and do some of this judging. You're spending all your time working on other people's problems, and the Lord is merciful in that way, where all we have to do is hopefully, the metaphor I use
is this a Jeep manufacturing?
Yeah, it's a Chrysler plant.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
To pedal our own bike and be responsible for our own actions.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough for us as flesh and bones. That should be enough. I don't know what this is. Water treatment center. It's a nice looking little piece of architecture, though, isn't it?
This is part of the Dodge place. That's big.
It is. Yeah, that's part of the water station, pumping station. Yeah, this is Chrysler.
My mother's father had a Dodge Chrysler dealership in West Virginia. And, growing up, we always drove Dodges.
That
Motor City Road Test.
That looks like a jailhouse, doesn't it? It looks like an old jailhouse. You know, the windows were very slightly small.
Like a prison lockup, and there's fire, so that could have been fire police, county jailers. I don't know what you call it here. I don't know if the globalists will or could even. I don't even think we can reverse the globalism. But I always buy American. I don't really think so many things I buy, get home, and I see stamp made in Japan.
Citizenship and Immigration Service. That's crazy. Well, you know, it's hard to believe sometimes that, you know, we live right next to Canada here. Where I live out in Roseville, and in a lot of places in Michigan, obviously, it's hard for people in other parts of the country to understand that we can drive south, living in the United States, drive south to go to Canada, because Windsor and in Ontario is also south of us.
Yeah.
You know, next to Detroit. So,
Yeah.
you know, as kids, we used to go over there. The exchange rate was better, so we'd go over there to buy hockey equipment from Canada, from Windsor. You know, you'd get a lot higher quality stuff, because I mean, let's be honest, hockey is primarily a Canadian-born sport. Although the original 6, I think, were 3 of each: 3 from Canada, 3 from America.
Well, with the globalism and the formation of the European Union, you know, I used to, I got out of the Navy in late 60s, and my dad was transferred to Italy by his company. So I got out, I went over there and lived 7 months, came back and went to school. But over there, the exchange rate, but now with the European Union and the Euro, it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio in value. So, in a lot of cases, instead of things being cheaper in Europe due to the favorable exchange rate, now are just as expensive.
Yeah.
I lived over there almost 21. Came back, made a good friend there, and to this day, he and I maintain a friendship. So let's see, 20, that's 48 years. Friendship.
Wow.
Italian man.
Look at that. Those are some big old buildings there. Are those apartments, you think, or?
I think so. That has gotten away from being a lake into the river.
No, it's still the bottom of the lake. Well, actually, that's a little cove there. I think it's a marina.
Okay, we're going. Okay.
The river. Yeah, I think the river starts just north of the Belle Isle Island, and we're getting real close. We actually run, that might be Belle Isle out there, because we run along the island. The bridge to get on the island is on the south or east end, west end, I'm sorry. think we're out of Grosse Point, Howard. I think we're definitely all the way into the city now.
Oh, Detroit?
Yeah, that's the Renaissance Center there, those big buildings.
Okay.
That's right downtown. Right in the heart of downtown.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is the we're gonna
rises down there.
Yeah, we're gonna hit this turnaround where the Dodge truck is.
Okay.
And this is the bridge to Belle Isle right here.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna go out and run around 980 some odd acres. That island is. It's a big place, and that's where they do the Indy cars race there.
Wow.
They used to race downtown, Formula One. Then when Formula One left, they went with IndyCar or kart back in those days, and then they moved from the city streets out to Belle Isle, and they've got a semi-permanent racetrack out here. The walls will be gone, and the grandstands will all be gone and all that, but the curbing.
Now they're out here.
Out here.
Oh, okay. Are we in the Detroit city limits?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
my mom grew up right down here. I think off of Hubbard down there.
In this area?
In the subdivision off in there, yeah. A lot of those homes are gone.
Wow.
Now.
Reclaimed for businesses?
I don't know if they've. I don't know exactly what they did about the refurbishing of all that stuff, but a lot of them were old, homes like in New York where they're real skinny and tall, 2 stories but real skinny.
Yeah. I like your truck.
Me too. It's a 2003. It's old, but it's worn in, and it knows me, and I know it. We love each other.
Nice.
I love my truck.
Sounds good too.
Well, I got the pipes running out the side on your side there, like a race car.
Check this out.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at downtown Detroit over here.
Yep. This is the Detroit River. This is the channel, the north side of the river that goes around Belle Isle, which we are now on top of. And then, of course, on the other side, if we kept going on the other side, is the Canadian side of the river. Obviously, we're right there where Belle Isle ends. The river comes together, and it's one big fat river.
You say we're on an island now?
Yes, we're on an island in the middle of the Detroit River.
Oh, so the river's on both sides of the island.
Right.
Man.
All right. Let me shut this down for just a minute. We'll come back. See you all in a minute.